So about 20 some years ago, I was living in Austin, Texas, and I joined a Muay Thai kickboxing gym that was owned by an Army Ranger who, after he got out of the Army, he ended up having some professional mixed martial arts fights and then opened up this gym, this academy. And one day we're sitting around talking, and I asked him, I said, you know, how good really is the US military? I'm not talking about the high-end special forces guys. I mean, just in general, in your opinion, how good is the US military? And he said to me, Adam, you know, it's not so much that we're so great at everything that we do. It's just that we're a little bit better than everybody else. Just a little bit better than everybody else out there. And that's really the way I've come to feel about using WordPress for dog training business websites. Now, we offer a done-for-you dog training business website solution where basically we take care of everything for you. We use tested copy, which is the persuasive text, and a design and a layout and hosting, and we handle all of the updates. It's a great out-of-the-box solution. But I wanted to test Wix. You know, Wix is one of these web hosting and design all-in-one platforms, and they've been advertising a lot. I never liked them before. There were always reported problems with how SEO friendly Wix websites were with Google. Supposedly, they'd gotten over that. They'd gotten past that. So I wanted to check it out. Played around with it, built a couple of websites with Wix. One of them our demo site, and one of them, one of our latest clients who hired us to take advantage of our done-for-you dog training business website, set up his site using Wix. I was really impressed with the design elements. I mean, you can get a very elegant design, a little bit better even than WordPress in terms of how it looked. Looked fantastic. Anyways, set it up. Also set him up with our Google Ads management service. Now, we know Google Ads really well. We've run Google Ads for dog training business owners in over 100 markets at this point. And in general, for the money keywords, not just keywords that get clicks, but keywords that we've tracked and that we know get both clicks and turn into leads, we're typically paying between $4 to $6 per click, which is expensive, but it's expensive because they work. And that's kind of broad across the base, across North America, what we've found. A broader average might be $2 to $6 per click because there are some markets and other keywords and stuff that are a little bit cheaper. But if you were going to average it out, be about $4 to $6 per click. Anyways, started running traffic to this website that we had built with Wix, and guess what? Medium-sized market, should be averaging about $5 to $6 per click. Ends up costing us $10 per click. $10 per click, which I would understand if it was a huge market like Las Vegas or maybe New York or parts of Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, but not for a medium-sized southern city. Something was dramatically wrong, and I was pretty sure it was WordPress. So I wanted to test it. So I took the site down, we rebuilt the site using WordPress, started the ads up again, and guess what? The cost per click fell by over 40%. The copy was the same, the design was the same, the layout was the same. Obviously the ad management and everything on the Google Ads side was the same. The only thing that was different was that we were using Wix instead of using WordPress and hosting it at SiteGround. That was the only difference. Now, there's something else that we did that we tested that makes me kind of reinforces the idea that the problem was Wix. We tried installing we did install both the Google Analytics and tracking, Google Tag Manager codes, as well as the CallRail codes. We use CallRail because what happens is we use 5 different call tracking numbers so that depending on the keyword, it'll route it, it'll hit the page, and the code automatically changes the displayed phone number. So it'll be the same area code, but a different phone number, and then it automatically and seamlessly routes it through to the dog trainer's website. So when he picks up the phone, the client doesn't realize it, right? But we do. And what happens is CallRail sends us an email with the caller ID information and the length of the call, and it records the call and all of that. And it swaps out the number seamlessly so that the dog owner, when they call, they see the phone number on the website and they just call it, and it's not a problem. The code that we install automatically swaps that out. Okay, it's just done. Well, the Wix platform was not reading the code. So what would happen is you'd have like, it would swap out the phone number in the body of the website, but not in the footer or not in the header. And then same kind of problems with Google Tag Manager code and Google Analytics code, basically. We were trying to like insert the code in 4 different places, and it still wasn't working correctly. Again, once we switched back to WordPress, no problem whatsoever. It just worked as it should. So if you want to pay up to 40% more per click, again, maybe my results are very typical. We only tested it on one website, but this should not have happened. My guess is that most people using Wix, if you're using Google Ads with Wix, and I kind of think probably it's the same with even organic SEO. Not that Wix sites can't get ranked, but my gut feeling is that those same websites built with WordPress would do even better. So my advice, if you're using Wix, move away from it as fast as you can. Have your website rebuilt with WordPress because that really seems to do a much better job on so many different fronts. Again, not crazy about WordPress because what happens is you have WordPress, the WordPress engine that gets updated, and then you have to update the theme, and you have to update the plugins, and you might have 10 or 15 or 20 different plugins, all made by different third-party vendors. And what happens is when there's an update, they don't always like to play well with each other, but ultimately it all gets worked out, and it does work, and it converts at an acceptable cost per click. Now, obviously cost per click, there's a lot of things that factor in cost per click. Could be competition, could be the copy on your website, all kinds of different stuff. But we controlled for all of those factors. The only thing that was different was that the one site was on Wix and the other site was on WordPress. So again, my advice is I wouldn't risk it. I would say at this point, move away from Wix, move to something like WordPress. I think you're gonna get a much better result, especially if SEO or Google Ads is part of your overall marketing mix and marketing strategy. Hey, I'm Adam Katz for Browning Direct, the Dog Trainer Marketing Agency, and the Dog Trainer Marketing Group on Facebook. It's free to join. You'll be amongst 2,800 other professional dog training business owners just like yourself, swapping tips, secret strategies, and tactics on what's working today for the modern professional dog training business owner. Talk to you soon, guys.